What's up everybody, today's review is on the Black & Decker MT300 multi-tool. This multi-tool, or osculating multi-tool, whatever you want to call it, is a 300 watt multi-tool and it goes 10,000 to 22,000 oscillations per minute. This is a 6-year-old tool, so they don't make this particular one anymore. I'll put in the description the model number of the current multi-tool, the current Black & Decker multi-tool. I bought this one because it was the biggest multi-tool. The 300 watt was the biggest at the time, and it was a good price. It was €100 for the kit, which was cheaper than the green Bosch or the Leroy Special. It originally came in this box. It has two spaces up top, one on this side, one on the other side, which for a multi-tool is kind of useless because the boxes are too small to put any of the accessories in. And inside there's just one divider, so I put the multi-tool in here and the accessories in here. It is nice that it's got a top handle though. It came with two of these wood blades. First I want to talk about the accessories you can use with this. So for DeWalt, the Black & Decker brand, you just pull that lever underneath here and you can just turn your blades like that. You can adapt it to fit any other, or at least most other brands, with this little screw thingy and the Allen key. On the bottom here you can see there's the screw hole. This is a Bosch blade. I imagine you could also put Makita and stuff on. See, for the Bosch you have to put this ring on. I imagine for other brands, maybe Makita or whoever else makes multi-tool blades, you might not need this ring, but for the Bosch you need the ring. Then you put this on. There are little bumps in the ring on one side, you gotta make sure those are up. Then you just put this on and screw it down. And the only thing I don't like about this is then you have to unscrew it if you want to turn it. Yes, in the original, when it came with this adapter kit, two of these wood blades. These are, of course, the Black & Decker brand. I think it's called Piranha or something. They're not that good. Like, these have been barely used, and as you can see, all the teeth have been broken off of them. Came with a few sanding pads. The sanding pads you use on this are the 6-hole triangular sanding pad. It came with two scraper thingies for tile, I guess. And then not that one, it came with this. This actually has held up pretty good, much better than these things. Oh, and it also came with a sanding pad, which after putting about maybe 10 sheets of sandpaper through, the Velcro doesn't stick anymore. There is a dust extractor, this thing, that you just stick on to your sanding pad, assuming that the Velcro hasn't worn off, and then you just put it like that. I went to use this one day, and the hole in the back here for the dust is so small, the vacuum could not get enough air through it. So this thing is pretty much useless. Unless you have a very weak or a vacuum that doesn't require a lot of airflow. But it is nice that there is a dust extractor on it. For sanding with this, yeah, it is nice to have the triangular thing, but whenever I sand, I just use my random orbit sander or my mouse sander. If I want to sand with this, I'd have to get a new one of these. So I'm gonna do some testing, not with the original Black & Decker blades, but with a Bosch wood blade. The thing you have to understand about a multi-tool is it's really only for small stuff. Like, you're not going to be cutting sheets of plywood with this thing. The way it works is it just goes back and forth very, very fast and in teeny movements. So it doesn't cut that fast, especially if you're in a hard material. It is nice that it's got the 300 watts because it's got the power, but just the blades don't. The blades just don't, as you can see, hold up that well. And also, you can only go so deep. Like, this won't do anything more than, I think, 30 millimeters or something. But it is handy for when you gotta get into an awkward spot and maybe you need to cut a pipe or something. That's when a blade like this comes in handy. Like I said, it was €100 for the tool, the case, and all the accessories up front. And then to buy the Black & Decker blades, to get one like this, one like this, and one of these is $30. So it is expensive to buy blades, and if you're gonna buy blades, you should definitely buy at least Bosch blades. There is speeds on the back here, and now I'll show you how it works. I'm gonna do some cuts in this 27mm piece of wood. Maybe I'll do some in this 18mm piece of wood. It is a very useful tool to get into hard to access with a normal tool spots. But if you're trying to do something that you should do with a bigger tool with it, it doesn't work that well. Like, say you're cutting studs out of a wall or something, you should use a reciprocating saw instead of this. And if you have a large surface to sand, you should use a proper sander rather than this. And say you want to cut something like this, you should use a chop saw or something and not try and do it with this. But for awkward spots and small things, it is a really nice tool. One thing I've noticed is this metal strip here gets really hot quickly, so you have to be careful not to put your hand on it. The switch is in the top, and I'll start on first speed and move it up to 6 speed. So that's 6 speed, and this is first. So obviously you're not going to get a lot done on first. I use it in between 3 and 5 most of the time, but right now I'm going to use it at 6. On 6, I'll just put my Bosch blade in here, unplug it, put my adapter on. This is the only drawback to using the adapter. And you can turn the blades 360 degrees on this. Now obviously you shouldn't be using it like that, but if you want to have it out to the side, like that, it's alright. A little tedious putting these Bosch blades on with this adapter. So lots of vibration, as you can see. I'm now going to put it on 5th speed. 4th speed. 3rd speed. 2nd speed. 1st speed. So to cut, you really should use at least 4th speed. I will now use this one in a different piece of wood. And this will cut plywood if you want it to. Say you need to make a little notch in plywood. That's another thing this thing's useful for, is doing notches, or also if you need to do a small plunge cut into something. And I know there's a lot of other applications for it, like taking up roofing tiles and stuff, and also there's other blades you can get for it, but I only ever use it for wood. I've never used it for metal. My friend has used it for metal once, but I've never personally used it for metal. So if you have a good enough, a sharp enough blade, like this, I have not used that much. It cuts pretty fast. Also, this is really soft wood. This isn't oak or plywood anything, but it's a useful tool to have. Like the times when I go to use it, it's like so good to have it because it makes jobs so fast. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.